Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to day 5 of Summerween. I am almost finished wrapping up the edits for the vlog that is going out today. But I just finished up 2 meetings that I had earlier today, so I'm gonna go get some lunch, get some coffee, drop off some things, and then we will be back to get this video started. But I just want to do a quick little intro here. So don't mind that I don't have the mic. The mic will be back. Don't you worry. But yeah, so let's jump into Summerween. We've only finished 1 book, so we really gotta speed this on up, baby. Hello, I'm back. As you would have seen in that tiny clip, I got a little rained on, which was great. Love to see it. So I did change because yeah, as soon as I got lunch, it decided to rain. I was going to get this there's like a Korean mart that used to have a woman who ran a small like to-go restaurant there, but I guess she doesn't do it anymore. So that was disappointing. So I went there. I needed to pick up a bulgogi sauce anyway, so I did get that, and then I dropped off a couple things at Goodwill that I needed to disperse out into the world and hope it finds itself a new home. And then I went to get a sandwich, and then it started to pour, so I decided to eat my sandwich in my car and listen to my podcast. And then I went to go get my coffee. So I got this yesterday too, and I thought I'd get a larger size. It's still decaf. It's a cookie butter latte. And I decided to get a larger size to celebrate that all my results came back from yesterday, and everything is good. Everything is great. So this is my little celebratory decaf coffee to just make you feel nice and cozy, especially on a rainy day like this. So I do have plans for the rest of the day. By plans, I mean I'm going to finish editing the first Summerween vlog and get that up for you all within the next hour or so. I'm pretty close to being done. I think I have like maybe a third of it left to edit, and the flow has been going really well, which doesn't always happen with videos, but the flow of this vlog is going pretty well. So should be able to have that done. Then I just gotta get the thumbnail together, which shouldn't be too bad. And then I have a ton of things to put together. So I think I will use that opportunity to finish listening to My Heart is a Chainsaw. I have about 3 hours left in the audiobook, and I think that will be the perfect amount of time to get some of this stuff put away and just do some of those things. And then I guess we'll decide which book we're moving on to next. I think I will do Direct Descendants, since the prompt for today anyways on Instagram is to post a photo with all the books that you have a sky on the cover, which I don't have that many, but I will find some. And so I thought maybe I'll read Direct Descendants next. We shall see. So that is the plan, and I hope I stick to it. But let's get to editing. And I hope you don't mind. I don't know how this audio is going to sound. I didn't feel like going upstairs to get my mic, so I'm just on my Bluetooth on GarageBand recording. So we will see if this is any better or not. If not, I guess we'll just have to use the camera's audio. But I did see that the stuff to possibly set up an external mic for my camera should be coming in either Thursday or Friday. So fingers crossed that I can show you what it looks like, and hopefully it works. It'll be interesting. I will be so excited. I will feel elated, because I do think the sound quality, I was listening back, and I do think the sound quality is better with the mic. Less of that kind of sound in the background, as you needed that demonstrated. So let's finish up editing, enjoy our little celebratory afternoon latte, and I will check in with you once we start listening to My Heart is a Chainsaw.
Days 1 and 2, which also includes the fun little music video that me and my sister made. And this vlog is going to consist of days 3 and 4. Last night, I decided to get a start on the next book that I was hoping to read today, and that is A Lost Man's Lane by Scott Carson. And this is one that I was hoping to read for the prompt that's like, read a book that you've owned for more than a year, because this is one that I got out of so many things that I'm going to come back to. One of the things that I love is the way that this author writes from the
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know why I'm rambling. Hello, welcome back to my car. I don't know why I do so many updates here in my car, but that's where we're at. I am gonna go run some errands, even though it is extremely warm. It's extremely warm outside, like so warm outside. But I am going to run some errands. So I am going to go recycle a bunch of plastic bags that we have. It's so embarrassing. We have so many reusable bags, but half the time I forget to grab them, which is terrible. And so I'm going to go ahead and go and recycle them. There's a couple stores that have like recycling bins for plastic bags. So I have a whole bunch. Gonna look a little crazy, but who cares? I guess I'm obsessed with this cookie butter latte because I think I'm gonna get it again and maybe sit in the coffee shop and read for a little while. And I also just need to like grab some groceries and stuff like that. And I'm probably gonna go to the pet store and get Pumps some of her foods because I realized that she was kind of running low. I might stop in Michael's because they are close together. Maybe. We shall see. And then, yeah, I need to grab a couple snacks and things like that. So we shall see. And then also, I guess, get a picture of my current read, which I did start, Direct Descendant by Tanya Huff last night. I didn't get very far. I'm only like 13 pages in. I just started it a little bit. I did grab the audiobook for this because already I'm like a little iffy about the writing style for this book. So I'm hoping that the audiobook will kind of help me go through. I was debating between getting the audiobook for Monstrilio or getting the audiobook for Direct Descendant. And I was like, let me read the first couple pages of Direct Descendant and see what I think. And I think the audiobook will be helpful for this one. I did finish My Heart is a Chainsaw yesterday when we were building a bunch of different things. I want to give you a recap of that, but I think I'll wait until we're back home and we can talk through my thoughts, because I was definitely surprised by the direction we went. So I think I'll give you some more thoughts about it when we get back home and I have my camera. I'm also supposed to get the mic today, so I do want to try that out. So perhaps we will do all that. So then I will let you know about My Heart is a Chainsaw and give you some updates on Direct Descendant and kind of a little bit more of what's going on, because we kind of really get like thrown right into what's going on here. So yeah, I'm curious to see if I will like this, because honestly, although I am aware of Tanya Huff and have seen her around for a long time, I've never read any of her books. So, but let's go ahead. I'm going to start my car because it is hot, and I will check in with you guys soon. I'm trying this again for one last time, one last shot with this mic before we decide to return. Hello. Now it seems so dark. I have my camera, instead of being on photo mode, I have it on video mode, which I usually don't do because the camera mode does better with the lighting. So we'll turn up the light, unfortunately. Try to get as much lighting as we can. I'm testing out my camera, so we'll see how this clip sounds. Or testing out my camera, testing out the new mic. So we'll see how this clip sounds. I don't think it's doing anything, so I do think I'll be returning all of the stuff. Which I guess is money back in my pocket, I suppose. And I'll just keep doing what I was doing before by recording the audio separately, even though that is quite cumbersome. Oh, some pumps. Here. Some pumps is in the box. She overstimulated. Okay, so. Let's chat about My Heart is a Chainsaw. And, oh, see, look how dark this is getting. And we're back. Okay, so let's chat about My Heart is a Chainsaw. So I finished this yesterday, and I give it a solid 4. I think that it was not what I was expecting. And like I said, I had a bit of a hard time with the beginning where our main character, Jade, was really going through this transition, starting to put together this theory about there being a slasher in her town, and basically trying to convince everybody else that this is going to happen, and trying to lay things out, and then also at the same time grappling with the idea of like excitement that something like this is going to happen in our town, but at the same time like to lose people and what it would actually mean for a slasher to be in your town, and kind of grappling with that as well, along with questions about trauma in her past and adults who do care about her trying to figure out if there is a way to get her the help and assistance that she needs. So all of that's going on. And I feel like audiobook wise, I was just struggling a little bit with a lot of Jade's internal monologue because there was so much, especially about slashers. But we did pick up probably like the last 40% was a lot more action, which I think I was just expecting more action because like I knew the premise. But I mean, that doesn't mean this book is not good. It just was, I think I had my expectations set for something that wasn't necessarily was. So I really liked it in the beginning. I liked their setup. And then we kind of meandered for a little bit and I wasn't sure where we were at in the middle. And then by the end, I had a lot of fun with the action and the twist. I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Interesting. Very interesting. I definitely think this is a book that I could reread because I feel like going back and looking at things a little bit more closely could be helpful to the enjoyment of this book. So I do think I would go back and reread this, and I do want to pick up the next one because I'm very curious. It did kind of end on a cliffhanger. So, yeah, it kind of ended on a cliffhanger. So I do think I want to pick up the next one in this story because this is the first one. I forget what the next book is called. Let me see if they have it in here or not. Oh, I think it's Don't Fear the Reaper. Yes, Don't Fear the Reaper is the next book in the Indian Lake trilogy. And then, did the third one already come out? Or is it... It's raining later than it did the last couple days. Okay, I didn't realize this one already came out. I hadn't really heard anything about it. When did this book come out? Well, I can't read. I don't want to read the synopsis because I don't want to ruin the second book for myself. Okay, so Don't Fear the Reaper. Oh, I guess Illumicrate. Huh. So Illumicrate is coming out. That's fun. Illumicrate is coming out with a Evernight exclusive for the Indian Lake trilogy. That's fun. When does it come out? Okay, so general sale for the Illumicrate, Don't Fear the Reaper, or the Indian Lake series comes out in September 18th at 3 p.m. Perhaps I will have to then go ahead and get the exclusive bundle there because that can be very fun. And then I would have, I'd have them in time for Halloween, which is cool. Yeah, so solid 4 stars. Wouldn't say it's a new favorite, but it's, again, this is very, My Heart is a Chainsaw is very different from things that I typically read. So I feel like it just took me by surprise this is what it was, especially because I've never read another Stephen Graham Jones either. So I do feel like all of that compiled, I don't know exactly what I was expecting. I just know that people liked this book. And I did like this book and enjoyed the story. So like I said, I do want to pick up the next 2 books. Perhaps I will see if I can get the Illumicrate one. I don't know. It's a possibility because then that could be really fun. I could save them for Winterween, which could be really fun, and read the next 2 books in that series. Like that. Oh, I left it downstairs. That's fine. We'll just put it up here. Okay, so Direct Descendant, I got about like 50 pages in, and I think the audiobook is helpful. I think it was a strong choice. It was a smart choice to pick up the audiobook. I do think it's helped with reading it. I know we talked about the synopsis, but essentially we're following Cassie, who is one of 4 family members in this town of Lake Argent that is like the small town that basically runs on the dark. From the cover, they look like Eldritch Horrors. So the dark, I'm assuming, is their Eldritch Horrors, and each one of these family members has a responsibility. So like Cassie is the mouth. Eric, who's her family member, I think they're cousins. He's the ears. Amanda is the hands, like the muscle. And then Jean, Aunt Jean, is the eyes. So they each have like a different power. And then when they have these council meetings with the townsfolk who know about, so like the townsfolk who have lived there are aware of like the deal that they have. And so like the longer that their families have been there, the more they're aware of it. And so we just had a scene where like they had a little town council meeting, and so like Eric is hearing what the residents are asking, and then Cassie, I guess, answers in this voice for them. So that is like kind of the backdrop. It is a small town, like I said, and so Cassie works at a bakery. Her family are she's from the founding family, and she shares the bakery with this guy Chris, and basically she just bakes things for her parents' diner, but apparently her family is rich off of silver because there's a silver mine, and that's kind of how the town was founded, and so they just kind of work to be a part of the town, I suppose. But that's all the backdrop, and then we have the Cassie, like I said, we get thrown into it, and the first scene, she's like climbing up, supposed to be doing something for the dark, some kind of monitoring or something like that. And she sees this guy who is up on the mountain just in a sheet and has a barrier around him, and he stabs his foot into this piece of ground where someone passed away. This man named Charlie, who I don't really know who that is, and sinks into it and disappears. And so they're trying to solve this mystery. There's only a couple things left behind. And then Cassie was wary because nothing has happened. And for some reason, the word sacrifice is like a word that you don't use often, I guess because it invites trouble. And so they keep calling it like the S word for things like that. But we're not quite sure what has been going on, but she is still a little suspicious that nothing has quite happened. Everything's been chill, and nothing big has happened since this has happened. So she's kind of roaming with those thoughts, but trying to move on because nobody else seems to be as concerned as she is. And then now we've just jumped POVs. So I think I mentioned when I read this synopsis that there's a PI, loosely, because we've met her, and she's not actually a PI, but she is coming under the guise of the grandmother of this guy who sacrificed himself, to try to figure out what happened, get his effects, things like that. So she's going to go to this town. And that's where we're at. So I didn't expect to get a POV switch, so that was kind of interesting. And I'm curious to see where this goes. I'm already very suspicious of the grandmother because of things that we found out about stuff that was left behind by this guy, Travis. It's not a secret. They find this out very, very, very early on. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about this one yet. Like I said, I do think the audiobook helped a ton. I don't think I would have made it 50 pages in today if I hadn't snagged the audiobook. But it is... I actually was going to continue listening to the audiobook and do a couple things, but my headphones were dying. So I took that as a sign that I would pick it up later. But I am very excited because I am gonna go do something super fun for a little Summerween fun here. They're doing like this thing called like a granny camp, and my friend Karen sent me an awesome deal. So I was able to get a ticket for like heavily discounted. And they're gonna do a book swap. I'm gonna be able to do 3 different crafting classes, and they'll have like treats. There's a latte class. They'll have cocktails, and there's gonna be like an open market and stuff. We'll get a goodie bag and everything. So I'm very excited to do that tomorrow. So that can be something that we can go and do together, and that will be really fun for Summerween. So I'm excited to get that done. I wasn't going to do it because the tickets were a little bit pricier than I needed to be spending, but this deal that Karen found made it worth it for sure. So very excited about that. Interested to see how this mic sounds. We shall see. I'm going to check it out so I can let myself know if this whole getup is even worth the time. I will show you how janky it looks right now just so you can see it. But so this thing attaches to the tripod, and then it didn't come with an extra screw for this. So, and the tripod didn't come with an extra screw either, which I think is interesting because it's designed to do something like this or put like the light on. And so my camera was interesting to get on, and then there is no aux cord on here, so I got a HDMI micro to attach it, but I don't think it's actually working. So there's that. I'm not sure if it's actually working, but this is what it looks like. It looks super profesh, but from what I could hear when I tested it previously, it didn't sound like it was making much of a difference. So it may all get returned, which is fine. Again, like I think it cost me like $40 in total to get this whole getup, so I could just get $40 back into my wallet. Hello, happy day 7 of Summerween. I'm trying this mic again. I could not tell, and y'all have to let me know. You'll have to let me know if it sounds better at all, because I'm still debating. So trying to get my life together here, but let's do a reading update first. I actually brought the book up with me. Aren't you proud? So the Direct Descendants. I'm liking this a lot more than I was in the beginning. I feel like we were doing a lot of setup. I don't know where I'm going to fall in this book, but I am excited. I would definitely read the next one as long as things continue to go as they've been going. And I have been listening to the audiobook in tandem with this. I also did pick up the audiobook for Monstrilio because we are on day 7 and I'm only on book 3. So I still want to complete all the Instagram, I want to complete all the Instagram prompts, but I also want to complete all of the Summerween reading prompts. So this one is going to be for the night sky. With the dust jacket has the night sky, obviously. And then Monstrilio is a book that has been on my TBR on my shelf for more than a year. So I definitely want to read that one. So I did grab the audiobook for that one as well, just to help me out a little bit, especially because I'm going to be at Granny Camp for like 5 hours. So I won't have as much time to read today. So I definitely will finish this one tonight, I think, and hopefully we'll be able to get Monstrilio done tomorrow. And I think what I'm going to do to make sure that I complete all the prompts is, even though I have the gym butcher fell. So I still really want to read What Feasts at Night, but I just don't know if I'll be able to read Monstrilio and read What Feasts at Night tomorrow. That might be a tall order, but I do have a graphic novel. Now, I have read the first book in the Alpha Omega series a very, very long time ago. It's been very, very long time ago. But I ended up getting this one when I was at DragonCon in 2023. And it's actually signed by Patricia Briggs. And it's just been sitting on my shelf. So I thought for the final prompt, where it was a novella, a spooky audiobook, or a manga graphic novel situation, that I would read this graphic novel to round out my Summerween and still get a book for each prompt. So I think that will be a good one to put on there. So I can actually have said that I've read this graphic novel as well. It is a solid graphic novel, let me tell you. So that's my plan. I think that will help me get through it. And I just was like, I do really want to finish Monstrilio. I don't want to not read it again. I wanted to prioritize it. So being able to get the audiobook, it's only like 8 hours regular listening. So I feel like listening at my 2.7 speed, I should be able to get through with that book tomorrow and read this graphic novel and round out our Summerween strong. Finish everything. But right now what I need to do is, so today, I think I mentioned it yesterday, that we are going to be doing a book swap. And so I was going through the books that I had taken off my shelves and put on Pango and various things. Was looking for something to bring to this book swap because, I mean, honestly, like, I wasn't going to go buy another book. I've got plenty of books that I could give to somebody else. I just need to take it off of my Pango here so somebody doesn't get sad. So I need to take it off. But the book I chose, I was kind of like debating between quite a few different things. But the book I chose was my first copy of Legends and Lattes. So I have this copy. This was the original one that I read when I went to Dragon Con in 2023. And also what I used to build my D&D campaign and also used to do a Teenage 3 cosplay. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll go ahead and link them down below. And I also made a Legends and Latte sign, which sometimes you can see. But I figured this would be a fun one to bring. Some of the other ones, like, I know this is a favorite, but I know not everybody knows about it, so I thought it would be a fun one. And plus, I have some fun, like, D&D jewelry that I make, and so I thought it would be fun to, like, tuck that in to the book and give that as, like, a little thing to go with the book. And it would be very, you know, in theme. So I need to figure out how to wrap this up for the book swap and get that together. So that is what I'm going to do right now. And then that way I can get ready because, like I said, I want to leave a little bit early. So hopefully I can drop by Get Fictional before this starts. And I also want to charge you and clean out this SD card so I can take you with me. It'll be fun. So you can get some shots and see like the crafts and all the fun things we're doing. So that's a plan. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. First, I'm gonna delete this listing. Fortunately, no one's hearted it, so I'm not gonna break anybody's heart by getting rid of it. And then, did it work? There it goes. Okay, perfect. So that's done. I'm going to try my best to wrap this, put some stickers on it, make it look cute, and then we gotta get ready. So let's go ahead and get that done. turned the camera back on to the auto for pictures, and look at the lighting. Look at the lighting. But here we go. Is it the prettiest one I've ever seen? No. But I've got some little crocheted cloud earrings that I made. And then I showed you the little ghost ones. I have this bookmark here that I got for free a long time ago. Figured do a little Summerween, and then this one I made when I went to a Bridgerton party and I haven't used it. So I figured it could go cute in there. And I just put a couple stickers on it, and I am pretty happy with how it came out, if I do say so myself. So we've done that now. Like I said, I need to get ready to go here and let you guys charge up and get as much opportunity to share this experience with you. So I'm excited. I'll see you there.
Which beans did you use for this one?
This is our house blend. That's the name of it.
Say that's alright.
75% a washed chiapas, 25% a natural. A little lower. Keep going. About there. Okay, stop. And then we're gonna tilt. Get close and just let her go. And stay low. Keep going. And up and over.
You did it!
Thank you.
Yes.
bullied her off the internet because of a Hunger Games opinion. And she deactivated her account and everything.
And a very valid opinion.
You need...
Hello. I'm all by myself here at Granny Camp. Everyone went shopping, but I was still finishing up a project, and so I decided to stay here. Here I am. Granny Camp sign. It's been very fun. I met some lovely ladies. Met another Victoria, which is exciting. Hello, Victoria, if you're watching this. But let's give a little update here. I think I got high off fumes from bedazzling. No one told me that, but I think it turned out pretty well. Here, we'll get it in the light so you can see better. Here we are of our bedazzling. I did the blood, which I thought was a nice touch here, and then the whole Long Live Evil. So very excited about that. Here are our beautiful book bouquets that we did. They all looked so lovely, as you would have seen earlier. And then we had a book swap. So I think I told you I did Legends and Lattes, but I picked up a book that I've seen a couple times, heard some reviews about, but I got Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. Not gonna lie, I picked this partially for the goodies. But yeah, so now I'm hanging out here by myself. Oh, you're very close. No wonder it seemed like you're so close. So I'm hanging out here by myself for a little bit while they go over to shop. And I'm gonna let them back in. So just kind of get myself organized, and figured I'd check in with you since I'm all by myself in here, and like, what cute backgrounds. I also should get a picture, I feel like. Somewhere we should get a picture. But I'm gonna put this away in my bag here. Where do I want a picture of myself? Oh, it looks really good from this angle. I'm so excited. I want a picture with it. Let's see. What an angle, what a vibe. I feel like we're just having a quick chat. What else can I tell you? Oh, I'm like an hour left in the audiobook for Direct Descendants. I was listening to it on the way here. Again, I definitely think the book 2 is going to dive more deeply, so I don't know exactly where this is going to end, but we shall find out. And then I have the 2 books left for the last day of Summerween. But this was totally worth being a little behind on Summerween. I think, did I show you the candle? Let's talk about the candle while we wait. So, I was telling somebody about this, but there's this place called Get Fictional, and she does candles, and she does have some books. Focus on the candle, please. And this says Summerween Booze Bats Book Club. All witches welcome. It smells delightful. I don't think it says what the the scents are. But I thought, how perfect for Summerween to have this. So very excited to have grabbed it. That was my only purchase of the day. Yes, so that's all the updates. What else can I tell y'all? We did latte art, as you would have seen. I didn't get mine, thank God, because mine was terrible. It was like a blob. And yeah, we had all sorts of goodies. We had cupcakes, we had pizza, There's some cupcakes here. There was like charcuterie you would have seen, brownies, fruits. I stole a bunch of strawberry candies because those are some of my faves. This in particular is my bouquet. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she beautiful? And yeah, now I'm just hanging out waiting for the girlies to come back, and thought I'd check in and chat with the other girlies here on the internet and just have a grand old time whilst I wait for them to come back. Oh my goodness, that glue, strong. What are these things? Now I'm just getting entertained. Oh, just a lot of little guys. That is my update. I guess I could listen to my audiobook while I'm here, whilst I wait for the people to come back. I do have my headphones, so I could do that. Just wait on my audiobook, and wait for them to come back. My back hurts so bad from doing the bedazzle. I don't know how y'all do like the full ass cover. That is crazy. That is insane. Oh, I see somebody. Hello, happy day 8. It is currently like almost 10 o'clock, and I am just coming in to update you. So, as you would have seen, had a lot of fun last night, which meant that today was really focused on finishing up our read. So I did this morning finish Direct Descendants. I know now where I got the idea that this was going to be 2 books. It is not. Pumpkin is excited. Hold on. Get it, Pumps. Get it. Oh, go get it. Go get it. Go get it. I did feel like, in a way, the climax of the story was a bit rushed to me. You know, still giving it a cozy vibe. But I felt like perhaps we could have taken our time a little bit more with it because we had so much setup for everything else. But overall, I had a fun time. It really is like a little cozy horror small town kind of situation. And I had a nice time. So give me a 3.5 here for Direct Descendant by Tanya Huff. Like I said, this is the first Tanya Huff book that I've read. It is kind of insta-lovey, I will say. I didn't mind it so much here because I felt like there was so much else going on that their love story wasn't like the only thing I could attach to, which is typically what I have a problem with insta love. And it was not like so annoying. Like sometimes it can just like, it's not a super long book, so we don't have long to spend of them pining after each other for no freaking reason. So I felt like I was okay with it. And like I said, so solid 3.5, had a good time, but not a series. Not a series. I misread the acknowledgments, I guess, late at night and got confused. So that is Direct Descendant. I also just finished, which is why I've come up here to chat with you all. I just finished Monstrilio by Gerardo Samano Cordova, and wow, this book was not what I expected it to be, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, honestly. It's very strange. Definitely something different than I typically read, but I had a good time. You know, they kind of called it a Frankenstein retelling, which I think made me think it was going to be more horror, gothic horror kind of vibes kind of thing, but it really was more character focused than I was expecting. So as you have seen in my clips, they actually The author actually divided this up into 4 characters, 4 main characters from the story. This is so difficult to hold this mic and this book. But it was 4 main characters. So we had Mago, who is the mother, and she's our first half. And then we have Lena, who's Mago's, and Joseph, who's the father's best friend from college. And so her section was next. And then it was Joseph, who's the father, and then M, who is Monstrilio. So we have all 4 of their perspectives here, and it's divided up fairly evenly throughout the book. And I was listening to the audiobook for like most of the first part going into Lena's part. And in the audiobook, it didn't let me know that, in fact, there were parts. So I was so confused of why we were spending so much time with Lena. And then when I picked up the physical book a little later in the day, I was like, oh, this makes more sense to me. It's literally divided into 4 parts. So it made a lot more sense once I picked up the physical book. I think I'm going to settle on a 4 for this. I know for a lot of people this was like a 5-star. And again, I think, I don't know, maybe because like this isn't typically something that I would read. It doesn't mean that I don't like it. I think it's just what, again, wasn't quite what I was expecting. And I had a good time with it and I enjoyed it and I thought it was interesting. But I thought I was going to get like a lot more monstery horror kind of thing. So we have 1 book left to make sure that we got all of our prompts completed before the end of Summerween, which we still have time. So it's only 10 p.m. Central Time. So the last book we're going to be reading, as I mentioned, we did a little switch up. We're not going to be reading White Feast at Night just because we're running out of time. So instead we're moving over to a graphic novel, which I still feel like fits Summerween. We got Werewolves. This is Alpha and Omega Volume 1 by Patricia Briggs. So I will be picking this up and finishing this before going to bed tonight. And then we will have completed everything for Summerween. And that makes me feel accomplished.
Soon I'm leaving quite early tomorrow morning. Undercover, baby, is what you ask of me. Soon I'll be disguised. Shooting star, I'm without a safety net. Give me a ride. I'm going far beyond where the sun sets. Dear, I'm no longer scared. The glow brings me comfort. I'm filled with light. Tiptoe, dance with me through the shadow play. Moon, I'm on my way. Shooting star, I'm without a safety net. Going far beyond where the sun sets.
so close to my face. We're done. Finished our graphic novel. And I think, I don't know if I'll rate this, honestly, because it's like volume 1 of a story and it continues on. And I vaguely remember the story because Alpha and Omega is an offshoot of the Mercy Thompson series. And I vaguely remember how the character of Anna was introduced and how this offshoot happened. I read the actual physical novel back when it came out, at least the first one. I don't remember if I read the second one, but I definitely read the first one. So I don't know if I'll rate this one, but I've read it now. We've completed Summerween. We've completed it. We have completed all prompts. I'm gonna go and take a pic for Instagram. I didn't do day 7 because of Granny Camp, but I'm at least going to take this final picture, put it on my Instagram before the day is out, before we've officially moved on to July 13th, which would mean the official end of the 6th annual Summerween readathon, summer reading challenge. I can't, as you can tell, I'm tired. But that would officially end this. Officially. So, got this one. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to rate this one. I also think I never told you about the 2 movies that I watched on day 4 of Summerween, which was kind of funny that I ended up watching, or day 3. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, day 4. Yeah, on the 4th day of Summerween, I did watch Clown in a Cornfield, and I did go see 28 Years Later, and both of those movies were okay. I'd probably give them both like 3, maybe 2.5 stars. Clown in the Cornfield was just a little silly at times and wasn't really what I was expecting. Maybe I would like the book better, but the movie, it was okay. I giggled. It was a very silly horror movie. And then I was kind of disappointed with 28 Years Later. It really wasn't what I was expecting. There were some parts that I really liked, but I don't know. I think 28 Days Later is still the best of the bunch. And so if you're going to watch any of them, I would recommend watching 28 Days Later. But I did watch those 2 movies too, so I guess we'll add those into our boxes here as completed things, so we can wrap that up for Summerween. But I guess we're going to end this vlog here because, like I said, it is the last day and I want this to go up on Sunday. So we've got to get to editing, and I have a busy morning tomorrow, so I don't know how much I'll get done. But thank you so much for watching and joining me on Summerween. I hope you had a great Summerween as well. If you participated, if you did, let me know what your favorite read was or what your favorite thing that you did was, and just kind of how you worked out with all the prompts. But until next time, I hope you read a good book. I hope you find some joy. And most importantly, I hope you do something to make the world a better place. And I will see you in my next vlog on Friday as scheduled. Happy end of Summerween. Until next year, or until Winterween. Bye!